Okay, here we go. I'm going to do problems 1 and 2, and your assignment will be to do problems 3 and 4. This is without a doubt the hardest thing you've ever done in your entire life mathematically, but at the end of your freshman year, you should be able to challenge yourself and do some more difficult things. Okay, first, as soon as you see an x squared x equation, you know it's called a quadratic equation. I would take a quick glance and see if it factors, but it does not, or at least it does not easily. But for today only, I still want you using the quadratic formula. I have the quadratic formula written here. You'll need to get it and write it down right now. Feel free to use the pause button when you need to pause and catch up with something. But pause, do a step, pause, listen to me, pause it again, and so on. But this formula is also on Canvas as a formula sheet. It's too complicated to type, so I couldn't get it into the directions or anything. Yep, so there's the quadratic formula. Yep. First, you get A, B, and C from the formula by A, B, and C here. Remember, A is the number being multiplied by the squared, so A is 3. B is the number being multiplied by the x, so it's negative 11. C is the constant by itself, or negative 19. Now I'm going to take these numbers and plug it into this formula. Okay, I consider this formula to have 3 parts to it. Part 1, part 2, and then part 3 is the harder part. First, whatever B is, this says take the opposite of it. So since B is negative 11, I'm going to plug it in like this, and I'll change it in a moment. But basically that means take the opposite of negative 11 or turn it to positive 11. Plus or minus, I'm going to write the square root and just leave it blank for now. All over 2 times A. Since A is 3, I'm going to put 2 times 3 right there. Okay? So right now I've got 11 plus or minus the square root of I don't know yet, all over 6. I change that to positive 11. I change that to positive 6 because it's 2 times 3. Now, this basically is last Wednesday and Friday's assignment. I like to go to the side and I take b squared minus 4ac. That's what goes under the square root right there. And I find out what number that is. Okay. B is negative 11, so I square that. Minus 4 times A is 3. C is negative 19. Okay. So this is last Wednesday and Friday's assignment, which is only part of the quadratic formula. Okay, you will definitely need a calculator for this section. That's positive 121. I need to take 4 times 3 times 19. I need to take 4 times 3 times 19. And that is 228. Because there's 2 negatives, negative 4 times negative 19 times positive 3, that ends up being a positive 228. And then now, since it's a positive 120, remember negative times negative is positive. And positive, I add these together. So 228 plus 121 equals 349. Now, last Wednesday and Friday, that was your only assignment. Today, it's just part of it. So this b squared minus 4ac is 349. Okay? That's basically using the formula to find the missing numbers. Okay, and we're trying to find out what x is here, so I ought to have an x equals out there. Now, from here, it's all calculator work. Okay, I'm going to take the square root of 349. The square root of 349 is, don't forget to use your SD button. It is not a perfect square. It's 18.6815. Basically, this is an example last Wednesday when it would have been 2 real roots. They're just not integer roots. Okay, I want you to go to 3 decimal places. So we're going to call it 682. So we're going to rewrite this as 11 plus or minus 18.682 all over 6. Okay, I just changed the square root of 349 to 18.682. Okay, now What this plus minus means is it's 11 plus 18.682 divided by 6. 11 minus 18.682 divided by 6. So I'm going to split it into two problems. Remember, a x squared should have two answers. Divided by 6, divided by 6. Okay? So I take 11 plus 18.682 divided by 6. I take 11 minus 18.682 divided by 6, and I split it into two answers. Okay? Now, from here, it's all just calculator work. I would like to warn you, because this is all over 6, make sure when you put this in a calculator, you need to get the answer to that first or push the equal sign. Make sure you do 11 plus 18.682 equals divided by 6. And then make sure you do 11 minus 18.682 equals divided by 6. You have to get the answer first, then divide. Okay, so it's just going to be calculator work for me. 11 plus 18.682 equals divided by 6. Remember to use your SD button. You get 4.947. This is positive 4.947. That's one answer. And then my other answer is 11 minus 18.682 equals, always push equals, divided by 6. I've got the fancier calculator that needs the SD button, and that answer is negative 1.280 equals negative 1.280. Okay. Now I gave you answers to these problems, so make sure you are aware of whether or not you're doing them right. Okay. 4.947, and then 1.28, negative 1.28, negative 1.280. Now, depending on how you rounded right in here, this could be off by 100th or 1,000th or something like that, but it shouldn't be off by very much at all. Okay, if you round to 3 decimals here and round to 3 decimals here, it should match your answers. Since this example took so long, I'm going to make a second video of example 2. Okay, always pause the video as needed and catch up, do your step on your calculator, and then come back to the video.